Hello friends, welcome to JavaScript video tutorials series. From the past few video tutorials, we are trying to understand JavaScript conditional statements. In the previous video tutorial, we discussed JavaScript if-else statement. We understood that we write the if keyword, then in pair of parentheses we write a conditional expression that may evaluate to true or false. Then we write pair of flower brackets. Then we write the else keyword, then we write pair of flower brackets. In between these pair of flower brackets, we can write a single statement or set of statements. If the conditional expression evaluates to true, then browser executes the true part or true block. If the conditional expression evaluates to false, then the browser executes the false part or else part or a false block. If you observe carefully, if-else statement help us to check the single conditional expression, right? What if we need to check multiple conditional expressions? Is it possible to check more than one conditional expressions in JavaScript? Yes, it is possible. We can check multiple conditional expressions if it is required using JavaScript else if ladder statement. Else if ladder statement helps us to check multiple conditional expressions. Using the else if ladder statement, we can check more than one conditions. This is the syntax. We write if conditional expression 1, then we write pair of flower brackets, else if conditional expression 2, pair of flower brackets. You can see that we are checking multiple conditions, right? Else if conditional expression 3, pair of flower brackets. We can write more conditional expressions if required. We can write else if conditional expression 4, pair of flower brackets, else if conditional expression 5, pair of flower brackets, and so on. At the end, we write the else block. Okay, how the browser executes the else if ladder? First, it checks the conditional expression 1. It actually executes the statements from top to down. So first, the conditional expression 1 will be evaluated. If the conditional expression 1 evaluates to true, browser executes the pair of flower brackets written immediately after the if conditional expression 1, because this is the true part for if conditional expression 1. If the conditional expression 1 evaluates to false, then the browser goes to the else statement. When it goes to else, it finds again a condition to check if conditional expression 2. Browser evaluates the conditional expression 2. If the conditional expression 2 evaluates to true, browser executes the pair of flower brackets written immediately after the if conditional expression 2, because it is the true part for if conditional expression 2. If the conditional expression 2 evaluates to false, then the browser goes to the else statement. Again, it finds their if statement conditional expression 3. It evaluates the conditional expression 3. If the conditional expression 3 evaluates to true, it executes the pair of flower brackets written immediately after the if conditional expression 3, because it is the true part for if conditional expression 3. If the conditional expression 3 evaluates to false, then the browser goes to the next conditional expression if it is available. Else, at the end, the else block will be executed because it is the false part. If no conditional expression evaluates to true, then the else block will be executed. I hope you guys have clearly understood how the else if ladder is going to be executed by the JavaScript engine. The else if ladder actually looks like a ladder. That's the reason they have given the name ladder. Let me copy this code from here. If I copy this code and go to MS Paint, I select this, say delete, and I say here Control V, and I go to home, I select the brush. If I draw a line like this, right, it looks like a ladder, right? It looks like a staircases. That's the reason they have given the name else if ladder. Let's have a demonstration now. I go to Notepad. You can see that I have already opened default.html in the Notepad. It has the basic HTML document structure code button. Title is set to conditional statements. In the body section, I have already written opening script and closing script tag. I have already opened default.html in the Chrome. Title is set to conditional statements. We see an example program for else if ladder. The program we are going to see is displaying the grade of a student. Okay, first of all, I create one variable called as marks, which is going to hold the obtained marks. Let's take the student has obtained 25 marks in the exam. Okay, the marks should be between 0 to 100. What I want to display is if the student gets the marks between 0 to 30, I want to display fail. If the student gets the marks between 30 to 50, I want to display C grade. If the student gets the marks between 50 to 60, I want to display B grade. If the student gets the marks between 60 to 70, then I want to display A grade. If the student gets the marks between 70 to 100, then I want to display A plus grade. Okay, how do we write the code? We need to check more than one conditions here. If student gets the marks between 0 to 30, if student gets the marks between 30 to 50, like that. Let me write the code here. If the marks is greater than or equal to 0 and the marks obtained is less than 30, then we should display here document.write fail. How the browser executes this statement, friends? First, it creates a variable called as marks, puts the 25 inside it. Then it executes the next statement. It checks a condition here, whether 25 is greater than 0. Yes, that is true, right? And whether 25 is less than 30. That is also true. Left hand side is true, right hand side is true. The AND operator returns here true. We know that if both the conditions are true, then the result will be true. In all other cases, the result will be false. That is what the AND operator says. If both the conditions are true, then the result will be true. In all other cases, the result will be false. Here both the conditions are true. Hence, this conditional expression evaluates to true. As this conditional expression evaluates to true, the true block will be executed. We get the fail on the screen. File, save, go to browser and refresh. We got the output fail, right? Let's proceed. What if the student gets more than 30? Let's take the student gets the marks 35. How do we check the condition? Now we are going to use the else if statement. I say here else, then we give a space, then we write if. Now we can write more conditions here. I say here if marks is greater than or equal to 30 and if marks is less than 50, right? Then I want to display on the screen, I want to display here document.write. It is going to be C grade, bracket close, semicolon. Now how the statements are executed, friends? First, the marks variable will be created. It is going to have 35 inside. Then the browser executes the conditional expressions from top to down, right? First, it checks whether 35 is greater than or equal to 0. Of course, 35 is greater than 0. So this is true. Then it checks this condition, whether 35 is less than 30. That is false, because 35 is greater than 30. As left hand side is true, right hand side is false, the AND operator returns here false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser moves to the else statement. It goes to the if and it checks whether the 35 is greater than or equal to 30. Yes, 35 is greater than 30. That is true. Then it checks this condition, whether 35 is less than 50. Yes, 35 is less than 50 is true. Left hand side is true, right hand side is true. Both the conditions are true. Hence, the AND operator here returns true. As this conditional expression evaluates to true, the true block will be executed. We get the output on the screen, C grade now. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that we got the output C grade. This is how the browser executes the statement, friends. Okay. Now, what if the student get more than 50? Let's take 55. Now I say here again, else if the student gets the marks greater than or equal to 50 and if the student gets the marks less than 60. That means if the marks between 50 and 60, document.write, we say here B grade. The student gets the B grade there. Okay. How the statements are executed? Statements are executed from top to down anyhow. Marks is 55. Whether 55 is greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is true because 55 is greater than 0. Then 55 is less than 30. That is false because 55 is greater than 30. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else statement. Again we have the if. So browser checks whether 55 is greater than or equal to 30. Yes, this condition is true because 55 is greater than 30. Then it checks this condition whether 55 is less than 50. No, that is false because 55 is greater than 50. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. The AND operator returns here false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else and it finds again a if. Okay. It checks the condition whether 55 is greater than or equal to 50. Yes, that is true because 55 is greater than 50. And it checks whether 55 is less than 60. Yes, that is true. Left hand side is true, right hand side is true. Both the conditions are true. Hence, the AND operator returns here true. As this conditional expression evaluates to true, the true block will be executed. We get the output B grade on the screen. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that we got the output B grade. Similarly, what if the student gets more than 60? Let's take 65. I need to write one more condition. I say here else if marks is greater than or equal to 60 and marks is less than 70. Then we say here document dot write it is A grade, bracket close, semicolon. Now what happens? Remember that statements are executed from top to down. Marks is 65. 65 is greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it is true because 65 is greater than 0. Whether 65 is less than 30? That is false. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. Browser goes to the else statement. Whether 65 is greater than 30? Yes, it is true. Whether 65 is less than 50? That is false. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. So this conditional expression evaluates to false. Browser goes to the else statement. Again it checks whether 65 is greater than or equal to 50. Yes, it is true because 65 is greater than 50. Then it checks whether 65 is less than 60. That is false because 65 is greater than 60. So that is false here. 65 is not less than 60. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. Browser goes to the else statement. Again it checks whether 65 is greater than or equal to 60. Yes, it is true because 65 is greater than 60. And whether 65 is less than 70? Yes, that is also true because 65 is less than 70. Left hand side is true, right hand side is true. Both the conditions are true. Hence, the result will be true. The true block will be executed. We get A grade on the screen. File, save, go to browser and refresh. We got the output A grade, right? You can see that if any block executes, the other blocks are going to be skipped. Remember that. What if it is more than 70, maybe 80 or 85 something? Now I need to write one more else if statement. I say here else if marks is greater than or equal to 70 and the marks is less than or equal to 100 marks, then we say here document dot write A plus grade, bracket close, semicolon. This time what happens? We know that marks is 85. Browser checks the condition, first conditional expression it checks whether 85 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, 85 is greater than 0. So left hand side is true. Whether 85 is less than 30? That is false because 85 is greater than 30. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. Hence the AND returns here false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else statement. Again it checks the condition whether 85 is greater than or equal to 30. Here 85 is greater than 30. Left hand side is true. Then it checks whether 85 is less than 50. That is false because 85 is greater than 50. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. Hence, the AND returns here false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else statement. Again, it checks the if condition here. Whether 85 is greater than or equal to 50? Yes, it is true because 85 is greater than 50. Then it checks whether 85 is less than 60. That is false because 85 is greater than 60. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. The AND returns here false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else part. Again, it checks the if condition. Whether 85 is greater than or equal to 60. Yes, that is true because 85 is greater than 60. Then it checks whether 85 is less than 70. That is false because 85 is greater than 70. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. Hence, the AND returns here false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else. Again, it checks the condition. Whether 85 is greater than or equal to 70. Yes, it is true because 85 is greater than 70. And it checks whether 85 is less than or equal to 100. Yes, it is true because 85 is less than 100. As both the conditions are true, browser executes the true part. We get the output A plus grade on the screen. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that we got the output A plus grade. We can give any value now. All I need is maybe 92. File, save, go to browser and refresh. We got the A plus grade. What if I give here 42? File, save, go to browser and refresh. We get the output C grade because the marks between 30 and 50 is C grade, right? Hope you guys have clearly understood how do we use the else if ladder, why it is called as else if ladder. Even we can write else statement here at the end if we want. For example, I say here else, and in the flower brackets I say document dot write. I can say here invalid marks bracket close semicolon. When this will get executed? When no conditional expression is going to be evaluated to true. For example, if I write here minus 100, file, save, go to browser and refresh, we get invalid marks because the mark should be between 0 and 100. No conditional expression is going to be evaluated to true if you give here minus 100, or maybe if I give here 200. File, save, go to browser and refresh. You can see that invalid marks is getting displayed, right? How it works? Marks is 200. Browser checks here whether 200 is greater than or equal to 0. Yes, it is true because 200 is greater than 0. And it checks whether 200 is less than 30. That is false. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. Browser goes to the else statement. Again, it checks whether 200 is greater than or equal to 30. Yes, it is true because 200 is greater than 30. Then it checks whether 200 is less than 50. That is false because 200 is greater than 50. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. Browser goes to else statement. Whether 200 is greater than 50. Yes, it is true. Then it checks whether 200 is less than 60. That is false because 200 is greater than 60. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. Then browser goes to the else statement. It checks again here if 200 is greater than 60. Yes, here the 200 is greater than 60 is true. Whether the 200 is less than 70, that is false because 200 is greater than 70. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. This conditional expression evaluates to false. Then it goes to else statement. Whether 200 is greater than or equal to 70. Yes, it is true because 200 is greater than 70. Then browser checks whether 200 is less than or equal to 100. No, that is false because 200 is greater than 100. Left hand side is true, right hand side is false. So this conditional expression evaluates to false. As this conditional expression evaluates to false, browser goes to the else statement and displays invalid marks. That is how the code is getting executed. I hope you guys have clearly understood. I suggest you people to watch this video again and again. Understand this clearly. In the next video tutorial, we get more information. For more benefits and be up to date, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to like, comment and share these videos with others so that everyone will get benefited. Keep learning, keep coding, keep sharing. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. See you in the next tutorial.